What is up, fellas? JPS delivers here. Hopefully all is well so far. We're going to be doing the user drafted team this time. Have a couple of tips and tricks as well. Just a little bit of just like roster construction when you're trying to draft some players later that you can move to positions to kind of like utilize your opportunity cost of drafting players. Went ahead, had as always, we will had my eyes closed for this one, drafting with the Panthers this time. See if we can make any bit of a sexy team with the Panthers. Haven't really seen much, but hey, nowadays you do have McCaffrey. Newton looks like he's on his way out, but we do end up having a top 10 pick. There's amazing players at this spot. At first round is always between quarterbacks and running backs. Madden 2007, 2005, all the PlayStation Maddens and stuff like that. So we're looking at like a Drew Brees, Mark Bolger, Brian Westbrook, Clinton Portis, Willis McGahee. Even though I don't ever like to draft Willis McGahee, the dude's really injury prone. He has one of the most famous injuries of all time. I hate to laugh, but hey, he ended up making a good career anyways out of it, but when his knee blew up. But we're going Michael Vick on this one. This is literally the year that Michael Vick had the whole dog scandal and everything. So I'm down to do that. Now, you look in the second round, it's defensive tackles and DNs. But will be a roster trick I use. I don't necessarily like to go for the DNs because you can pretty much utilize having really well-rated DNs after moving a couple players from the linebacker position. But for the most part, yeah, we're going to get Vince Wilfork, just a younger player, and he was the best rated at the position. Now we got wide receivers. Tackles, you got to go with Randy Moss. Just to think of the fucking fact, you got Michael Vick and Randy Moss together. You imagine the deep ball is going to be insane. You're going to have a player that's going to be able to out-jump players when Mike Vick has to scramble around down the field, buy some time, and build up a really nice, passing attack that, is going to be unscripted a decent amount of the time. And when you got Mike Vick, it's perfectly fine. So I'm cool with it. With the third, fourth, and fifth round, this is where you get cornerbacks, wide receivers, and tackles. We ended up getting a cornerback that time. I believe it's Charles Woodson. We ended up getting hey man, this is why I play these games. It's my favorite games, Maddens, compared to all the other ones that you see today. It's just today, graphics are great, but at the same time, some of these games, just the gameplay is smooth as fuck compared to the ones you even have today. I don't have a computer. I'm playing on PlayStation 2. I have a PlayStation 4. So if I want to play a new Madden, you can't really have the mods on it and stuff like that to improve the gameplay. Looking right here, I think I end up with Ernie Sims. His tackling's better. He's more athletic than AJ Koch. So with that being said, you got to get the guy who's really fast on the edge. He could be used as a DN to move him to DN, and I'm sure he'd be like 99 overall. But we're going to show another player that really, really does hit home for old Madden games. Just a player who's a beast, like a Takeo Spikes, or I think that's how you pronounce his name. But I think here, where do we go? This is the 7th round. We already got guards taken out the best guards. I don't know if did we get Sean Taylor for safety? I don't know. We'll just have to see. But I think looking at it, we do end up with a Baron right here. Just get a good tackle right there. Move from right tackle to left tackle. It's a video game in 2008 or 2007. Since the years ahead. So with that being said, not a big deal whatsoever. You got Chris Cooley. You got Benjamin Watson. The thing is, I like about Benjamin Watson more is he's just more athletic. You can improve his catching compared to Cooley, anyways, and he's going to be used in the passing game. Use this dude as a receiving weapon. And I know I do like to go tight end later on a decent amount. Get like a Greg Olsen right there or something like that. Maybe even Owen Daniels to improve just their skills. Put them up to like 85 or 86 overall after putting them through training camp. Which training camp is my favorite thing ever in any of these Maddens. I'm sure it's the case with a lot of y'all. But just with the tight end stuff, I think I do end up getting Benjamin Watson right here. Looking at the players that at this point, and I'm just like, this is the 9th round is where tight ends get selected. We're a little bit behind, chasing the curve, which I don't normally like to do. But with that being said, just Benjamin Watson, you can move him out to play, middle of the field, slot wide receiver, and like 4 wide receiver, 3 wide receiver sets. because he's going to be ranked better than the other players at that position, especially if you're going to, draft later on a wide receiver. Especially if you got Randy Moss, you don't need to draft another player amazingly. But right here, what I did is centers get selected in the 12th round. And, you saw how the best centers pretty much are top-heavy. So I went ahead and went with one of the best centers of all time, Krutz or something like that. Caress or something. Sorry, I apologize for the fucking broken English, but, same time. It's whatever. Doesn't change the fact that dude is 98 overall at center. I mean, you're drafting dude 98 overall. You might as well just take him instead of waiting for what your pick's going to be. Like I said, snake draft, opportunity cost with this kind of stuff. I know it's getting really technical for a video game draft, but hey, we're seriously trying to play some fucking Madden 2008, my favorite Madden of all time. Playing with Michael Vick, we gotta take advantage of drafting some of these really good players. And there you go, right on the bottom, 29 years old, one of the best college linebackers of all time, LeVar Arrington. I know there's Sean Phillips right there, a young Sean Phillips, but it's just the nostalgia of getting LeVar Arrington. And I'll show you the trick that I use with LeVar Arrington, a guy that could get a decent amount of sacks in his prime right there, as you saw. Started off his career really well. I mean, in old Maddens like in 2006 with McNabb on the cover, 2007 with Sean Alexander on the cover. He was ranked in like the top 5 of like outside linebackers. Dude's extremely athletic. So we'll use when I go through the rosters after that, I'll show you how I do a little bit of a trick to set that up to pretty much have a player that's going to be a beast for you, and you didn't have to draft him in the 2nd round to get the kind of overall rating that you're going to get from moving him to his DN position. I'll show that. I'll probably come out with a video too to show you, like, just in Madden 2008, 2009, what kind of players in the outside linebacker position. Because, like, think of it this way: why would you necessarily draft a D end? It's hard to move a lot of players from another position to a D tackle and see them increase their overall ranking and stuff, rating, and increase their attributes for that position at a D tackle. So you might as well draft a D tackle in the 2nd round when they're all getting selected. You'll still end up with a 90 overall or above, even if you're the first pick in the 1st round and the last pick in the 2nd round, to where the 2nd round, like I said, D ends and D tackles. There we go. Just got LeVar right there, which the way I'm going to use him, and I keep on fucking harping on it, but that'll be the dude that is the steal of the draft. And I do the same thing with Vernon Gholston out of Ohio State as a rookie in 2009. He's like a top 10 pick at linebacker. It just makes sense moving these dudes to DN because a decent amount of defenses now run like 3-4s, to where it's basically says 3-4, but it's kind of like a 5-2, to where you have 2 middle linebackers, and then you get 2 extra edge rushers. That's what the Steelers used with James Harrison, to where he wasn't technically a DN, but they used like kind of like the Ravens did with Terrell Suggs, to where Nada was at first the defensive end, but really it kind of used it as like a 3 defensive tackle set with 2 outside linebackers becoming the edge rushers for your defense. We get Fajita or Fajita, whatever you pronounce that dude's name, but yeah, that's what it was. We got Sean Taylor, one of my favorite safeties, my favorite safety to use in PlayStation 2 Madden. Really just, I love how this draft ended up falling in our hands. I reached for, for Mike Vick, but I don't give a fuck. I mean, if we're going to play as Mike Vick, he'll be way more fun to play with than Drew Brees or Mark Bulger. Even though if we were selecting the Rams, part of me would be like, hey, fuck, we can get Mark Bulger and see if we can get Torrey Holt or something cool like that. But it's the fucking Panthers, okay? We're gonna do something different. And right here with fullback, 17th round, that's where you'll get fullbacks coming off the board, like a Tony Richardson right then, Mike Alstott, not in this game, but Tony Richardson, well, not as high as he used to be, where he'd be like 97 overall and shit. But like Mike Alstott would be, top fullback in Madden 2004 with, I think Vic's on the cover of that for sure. But just, and then you also get kickers, which also too, because of training camp, it's one of my favorite drills in training camp is improving your kicker, because that's the position that, like, with the 7 extra points, if you get gold on all Madden, you can improve your kicker by fucking like 9 or 10 overall. It's batshit insane. Just it's weird how 1 attribute point on your kicking accuracy or kicking power can improve your kicker's overall by 2 overall attribute points. It's pretty nuts. But I like to get like a player who's like Janikowski or something like that. I think at running back we ended up getting like the rookie Adrian Peterson. You know, it's the cool thing about Madden 09 is that right away just Adrian Peterson, after like a record-setting like rookie year with Minnesota, the dude was already 95 overall in Madden 2009. So like, of course, Madden 2008, but you know, his catching is pretty good and he's a fast player. And it's fucking Adrian Peterson. Why wouldn't you want to do that? So, don't give a shit about that. This team's really starting to shape out well. Randy Moss, Brandon Lloyd kind of complement as another tall wide receiver with the likes of Benjamin Watson, who can, you know, who's like it showed right there, was he 89 speed at a tight end? Holy shit. Like, that's just a huge mismatch. And the tight end's going to be like a position that usually how I run my offense is that I'll usually depend on. So you might as well get an athletic tight end that you can build upon his receiving ability. And then bam, I think Campbell right there. Picked him just because my offense won't change very much. Let's say, God forbid, Mike Vick gets injured, which there's a possibility, and you just never know with the way he scrambles and stuff. But, oh yeah, there you go. Had to get Devin Hester before I cut up the draft. I mean, that's the cool feature. What sucks though, because after you draft him, his speed goes down to 99. You know, as if that's terrible. But 100 speed, that was a cool thing that they added. I'm pretty sure this is the season after the Colts had won the Super Bowl against the Bears, but Devin Hester was like setting records right there. He had to get Aaron Ross after getting a young Darrelle Revis as well, and I think we go ahead and just kickstart just simulate the rest of the draft here. But I think we have a pretty good team, and I know right there we didn't draft a left end yet, defensive end, but fuck it. Like I said, I'm going to show you what happens when you switch positions. In this case, it'll be LeVar Arrington, and then like Vernon Golston is like a player I always liked. But there you go. That offense looks sick. Mike Vick, Adrian Peterson, a good fullback. Benjamin Watts right there, a decent tackle. You see left tackle, right tackle's overloaded. And there we go. We're going to just switch our right tackle. Again, it just doesn't matter if you can change these players. And even if it won't let you because the not enough players in the certain position that you're trying to move them from on your roster, because you have to have like at least 2, then just sign some bullshit player who's really cheap that's barely going to play any games anyways. And then bam, you can just do that. And here I just balanced it out to where there you go. It's 3 right guards, 1 left guard. Might as well just move the dude over there. Don't want to release him, but just move him over there. And then after this, Oklahoma always had a ton of linemen, but I think moving right here, you see left end had an 80 overall. Can't be dealing with that. And then bam, right here we see you only have 2 left outside linebackers. So I think what I did is I think I moved one of the middle linebackers, to left outside linebacker. And then here we go. Here will be the big switch right here. LeVar Arrington, same overall as Fajita, but now going from an 84 overall at left outside linebacker to left end. Let's see what that does for him. Bam, 95 or 94 overall. That's a dude, he gets selected in like the top 15 in the 2nd round, and we got him in the 10th round, maybe even the 15th round, and he does amazing. So there you go. As always, fellas, be grateful for everything that comes to you. You know, I'm looking forward to this. Hopefully y'all are too. And have a good one.